Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Lost Everything and Went Back in Time Part 6. Before we start, please go support AndresFelipeSolanoDi for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. Chapter 34. Freedom. In front of Ikaros was Issei carrying Toka. Ikaros. I see that you finally decided to appear. Issei. Did you know what I was observing? Ikaros. No, but if she was your knight, it is normal that you came to rescue her from being on the brink of death. Issei. Well, it's not like their fight could be ignored. Behind Issei, all the girls from his family would appear and he would leave Toka's body in the hands of Roswis. Ikaros. The situation needs to be explained. Issei. There is no need, I watched and listened to everything, dragons have good hearing. Ikaros. Then that makes it easier, you know why I came and why I came, so the question is easy, you're going to get in the way. Issei. Well, I have to do it after this girl's statement. I have to take responsibility. Ikaros. Then you will fight to the death with me. Issei. Yes and no, Toka would be very sad if she killed her friend. Furthermore, you are not here with bad intentions. You have no will or desire to kill Toka. In fact, I am very sure that if I put her in front of you, you will not pull the rope. Of that arch. Ikaros. Who are you to speak for others? Issei. The simple fact that your emotions dominate you is the proof you are truly jealous of the freedom she has. Ikaros. You be quiet, Artemis. Shock. Bang. Issei just wouldn't move, he would stay still and let himself be hit. Ikaros. Like. Issei. I may have human form, it may seem like I have human skin, but I am actually a humanoid dragon, and dragon scales are very hard. Quickly Ikaros would move to the sides to shoot the bow from him, which he did as he gained greater height. Issei. It is definitely an attack that can destroy a continent and therefore I must respond with one of equal magnitude. The moment she shot the arrow, Issei's eyes changed to those of a dragon and he quickly opened his mouth. Issei. Fire breath of the dragon god. The arrow and the breath collided, but to Ikaros' surprise, her breath was disintegrating the arrow, which caused huge continuous explosions towards her. 02. This is Issei's power, I feel like it vaporized us. Roswis. I still can't say for sure, I don't think this is all of his power. Ikaros quickly rejoined the air. Ikaros. I knew you were strong, I didn't think so much Uranus system. Immediately the ship would appear again and torrents of missiles, projectiles, bombs, shots and the two mechanical arms would head towards Issei. Ikaros. Toka, she is happy by your side. I am jealous that she achieved that happiness, but at the same time I am happy about it. What do you call these contradictory feelings? After her words, Issei would look in front of her to move his hand. Issei. Claw of the dragon god. The torrent of attacks was destroyed before Issei's attack. Quickly the ship was destroyed. It was obvious in front of him, she had no chance to win. Issei. If that's how you feel, why don't we stop? None of this has to happen. Ikaros. I am a slave, slaves have no rights. Issei. I don't believe it. Freedom is part of every living being. Denying it is something horrible. Ikaros. With this necklace on my neck my destiny is sealed. Issei. That's not true. Ikaros. How do you know? Issei. Because I'm here. Ikaros. I'm scared. Issei. I will take away that fear from you. Ikaros' tears fell from her eyes. Ikaros. You are an idiot. Issei. Tell me something I don't know. Ikaros. Please help me. Issei. Don't worry, you'll be free like Toka. After a few minutes, Toka regained consciousness. Toka. Wait, Ikaros. Roswis. Calm down, Toka. Issei. Everything is resolved. Toka. She is. Issei. Long live, yes. Ikaros. Toka me. Toka. Hugs her. Thank heaven, I'm glad you're well. Ikaros. Crying, I didn't want to too. Toka. Don't worry, everything's over. Issei. Well, that's all we still have to see, that neck collar is going to break and we both know what's going to happen. Toka. The goddess Eden. Issei. Correct. Ikaros. That's why we haven't moved from this small island. Issei. Mostly because I want to talk to her. Toka. I understand, but Ikaros. Ikaros. I want to be with my friend and have freedom, something that I have never had is necessary for this, enough to think about the master, or rather about that son of a bitch, it is time to think about my own well-being. Issei. I like that's a way of thinking. Grabs her necklace. Ikaros. I'm ready. Issei. Breaks it. Immediately the same events from Toka would happen to Issei, only this time the goddess Eden would not make a presentation. The statue was automatically imbued with the consciousness of the goddess. Eden. See you again, mortal. Issei. It's also a pleasure, or at least I would like to say that. Eden. You know you have committed a crime. Issei. I'm sorry, but in this world slavery was abolished centuries ago. Eden. Apparently we have different laws. Issei. Yes, I wanted to ask you, your reason for invading is because you feel upset or offended to know that your world is not the main one and you were not number one. It is a theory that a certain god had with Aten. Eden. Well, that person is very sharp, he is right, my world is at the peak of strength. I don't understand why yours is the main one. We are superior in everything. He questioned me about what we failed to be, just a dimension next door. Issei. Are you seriously wondering why? Without heart, without feelings and enslaving in the name of God, if you say you are beautiful, then your beauty represents slavery. Eden. A god gives laws if they are enslaved, it is for breaking certain rules. Angels can take slaves if they break the laws, many rumors that they can enslave anyone is a lie, and it is something that if done will be punished. Issei. What does he say about trapping people who are very young and unborn with a special power? Eden. That is not allowed, it is sacrilege to do that. Issei. Oh really, Toka? Toka? Yes, Issei. You must remember this girl here, her necklace was forcibly put on, kidnapped against her will by her power. Eden. Looks at a woman, that's true. Toka. That's right. Eden. He's not lying, then I see how it is. Issei. You are the queen of everything over there and you don't keep the bad guys out. Eden. It is different from your world, the gods have their personal space or special areas, our power is so great that descending into the world causes great tension in the world. Issei. In other words, the ground they walk on is weak. Eden. Yes, that is why we trust our servants to dispense justice, but the servants of our servants do not have control over all of them, and some have a way of avoiding the gaze of the gods. Issei. Toka, in all this time, I didn't ask his name, what is your master's name? Toka. Zet. Ikaros. He didn't let us say his name in public. Eden. Zet. He. This is getting complicated nowadays, he is an archangel. Issei. You are his goddess and you can't finish him. Eden. It is not as easy as I said in the underworld, I have limitations, I can take away certain advantages, but killing him would require a powerful attack, after all he is an archangel, if I launched that attack, I could destroy a large part of my world. Too, he could send another archangel, but he may have support from others due to the corruption you mention. Issei. I see he will continue to be a thorn in the butt. Eden. I want to propose a deadly deal to you. Issei. That sounds interesting considering your personality. Eden. I can stop the attack on your world and sign an eternal peace, leaving my pride aside. Issei. What's the trick? Eden. You will have to purify the evil from my world, eliminate corruption without importing the means. Issei. You want me to be your hitman and kill all the evil people in that world. Eden. Think about it this way, I gave the order to stop the attack. Do you think everyone will comply? The bad guys will continue with it. I'm simply giving you an opportunity to relax. Issei. Accepted, it is beneficial for everyone, however I have conditions. First, the order not to attack, you will not give it until I tell you, and second, you must swear on your life that you will keep your word. Eden. He accepted, but why delay the order that attacking would not be of little benefit to your world? Issei. I have Toka and I freed Ikaros. I just hope that the bastard comes personally next time, so I still don't want you to stop the attack. Eden. You are very smart mortal, what is your name? Issei. Issei, Hyodo Issei. Eden. I will remember that the next time we meet, it will be when you kill Zet, I will manifest myself in some way. Issei. I understand. Eden. Curious maybe if they deserve to be the main world, but it would only be because of one or two powerful powers. Looking at Issei. Issei. Well, now with your permission I will destroy you. Eden. Go ahead. He would move her hand by placing it on it, and the goddess would once again be split in half. Toka. Seriously, everything was solved. Issei. Dialogue is sometimes the solution to conflicts, not everything needs to be resolved with violence. Ikaros. Then now what comes? Issei. Wait and see what happens in the future, let's focus our lives on living in the present for now. Toka. What will happen to Ikaros? Issei. She will decide it herself, now she is free, she can stay and live with us, you don't have to be a member of my family to do so. Ikaros. Thank you, but I want to walk the path that Toka does to see what she sees. Issei. You don't have to force yourself to see the same thing. Ikaros. I still want it. Issei. Okay. 02. Darling, what piece are you going to use with her? Issei. Millimeters has a range of different abilities, I have to think. Toka and Benny are my knights, 02, and Roswis are my rooks, Ravel is my bishop, Ingvild is my queen, and Ilmenhold uses 2 pawn pieces. Ilmenhold. That leaves a margin of 8 pawns and 1 more bishop. Issei. Ikaros is mostly a long-range combatant like Ravel, the bishop piece is an increase in her magical abilities. Ravel. It's decided, isn't it? Issei. If you don't have to think about it anymore. From her hand the bishop piece would emerge calmly. Issei. Ikaros, you agree to be in my family of your own free will. Ikaros. Yes. Issei. From now on you are a reincarnated demon. Immediately the bishop piece was introduced into her body, and as a result of that action her demon wings emerged, but there was a difference. Issei. This. Ravel. Is this possible? Toka. I don't know why you're surprised, Ikaros is an angel, her wings are something natural to maintain. Issei. How did your master do, being one, to obtain it? Toka. It was due to an auction. You heard from the goddess that it is illegal to do that kind of thing, and I told you, not all slaves are of their own free will. If two angel ranks have children, they are automatically born of the same rank, even if they are very young. Her parents sold her as a slave. Issei. Damn the cruelty there is in that world is. Toka. It is not surprising in that world few act for the common good and believe in family. Issei. Likewise, if what you say is true, when I carry out the purification of the goddess, it could be the greatest genocide that exists. Toka. A world full of cruelty is better than that. Issei. I guess that's true, but Ikaros, how do you feel? Demon wings don't bother you with angel wings. Ikaros. My body works perfectly. Issei. It's a relief, but because her neck has a new necklace and my hand is wrapped around the chain. Ikaros. It is the manifestation of my bond with you, a truly kind master. Issei. Toka, that's fine. Toka. Yes, apparently I think that angel rank can do that, but it is very rare, I don't remember why. Issei. If you feel good about it, I will accept it. Ikaros. I really like the necklace, but don't worry, I can also hide it. Issei. Okay. Ikaros. Now what do we do? Issei. Extends hand, now we're going home. Ikaros. Opens eyes wide. Issei. Thank you. Smiles. That day Toka got her dear friend back. I established an alliance with the goddess of another world for future peace. I got a piece, not a member of my family, and the chessboard was almost full. It was something strange, but that day I could see a very bright smile on the faces of both Toka and Ikaros. Chapter 35. Getting ready. Ikaros had become my bishop and part of my family, which led me to teach him everything that was going to happen, which he understood and easily resolved. Issei. Ikaros compared to Toka, his level of learning technology is fast. Ravel. If even mathematical problems everything was easily deduced. Issei. Ikaros, can I ask how you solved everything easily? Ikaros. I have the ability to process quickly beyond what is human, so adapting to theoretical things is easier for me. Ravel. In other words, it's like a supercomputer. Ikaros. You could say. Issei. With this we have solved the academy thing. Ravel. To all this Issei. Issei. Yes. Ravel. You talk about the academy this and that, but the holidays are about to end, you remembered to sign up for the academy, right? Issei. Of course. I would have to be a fool to talk about it and not do it first. Ravel. Then why did I see the papers on the tables? Issei. I will defend myself by saying that I was busy. Ravel. Issei. Issei. Okay, I'll deliver them to the academy today, don't worry about it. Ravel. Well, one less problem to worry about. Issei. On the other hand, the fact that they could be related to me because of my house worries me. Ravel. Don't worry, I'll put up all kinds of magical barriers. If there is a familiar flying, then we'll know and we'll hide. Issei. Perfect. Ravel. Well, there's not much left to prepare, but do you think the school allows the use of their uniform since, well, the school has its rules, it's part of the Gremory territory. Issei. Don't worry, you know that in the human world having money makes the doors easier, that won't matter. Ravel. Okay. Issei. By the way, what are the others doing these days? Ravel. Roswis went to apply for her job as a teacher, the others are outside enjoying the fresh air, everything is calm. Issei. Yes, I like this calm too. Ravel. It is all thanks to you that you have been able to avoid future catastrophes. Issei. Yes, Volley's group has contacted us. Ravel. Haven't been heard from lately. Issei. Knowing him, he must have something on his hands. Ravel. What do you think it could be? Issei. The Cows Brigade is almost on the verge of losing, sincerely they have nothing left but the hero faction, if Koko reconsiders she will not attack Yusaka. Ravel. And he will remain a clean man, one of our many friends and allies from the past or future, this time travel is complicated. Ikaros. Issei, I understand your situation about traveling in time, but do you think it happens like that? Issei. Kakao is not an idiot, he is intelligent, he knows that something ended in one night with the organization, so he will back down. Ravel. Then the things we have left to do are few, I can finally feel relief in my heart. Issei. Yes, but there are still many things to do, I need you to search for the souls of the evil dragons when you have time. Ravel. You plan to destroy the souls of evil dragons. Issei. Not all of them, one is our ally, so I plan to revive it, you know, Kromkruch. Ravel. I understand, I'll get going when I have time. Issei. Also look for the Excalibur pod. We will need it in the future to establish negotiations with heaven or at least get closer to the church. That way, I will give it to Zenobia ahead of schedule. Ravel. I will designate the girls to distribute the work with the memories of the future, locating many objects is easy. Ikaros. Who is that Kromkruch Issei? Issei. The strongest evil dragon despite his name, he is someone who cares about the future of dragons. Ikaros. I understand he is your friend. Issei. Yes, although in the past he was first an enemy then a friend. Bravo. Most of the people you met were like that. Issei. I can't deny it. Bravo. Although since he doesn't know about you, he will most likely take aggressive actions, you never know. Issei. I'm counting on it. Bravo. Well, it seems that everything is ready. Issei. Well, I'll go deliver the papers. Issei would leave calmly after collecting the papers. He left for the academy and then he noticed Ross was sitting on the bench halfway along the way. Roswas. Sigh. Issei. I thought you were applying for your position as a teacher. Roswas. Issei, I didn't know you would pass by, here you were. Issei. I had to send some papers, I delayed it for a long time, but that's not the point. Roswas. I know everything that happened was only contemplated. Issei. Sits next to him, things happen so fast that you don't believe it. Roswas. It's not just that, it's that I don't feel worried or upset in the past or future, this is complicated, we had moments of peace, but. Issei. They weren't that close, it was all about training how to defeat the enemy, and when you thought it was a simple trip, boom, an enemy appears and ruins all the travel plans. Roswas. Yes, and I'm scared of losing him. Issei. I knew that feeling was going to arise sooner or later. Roswas. You are not afraid. Issei. Oh, I'm very afraid. I go back in time, the gems are gone, if I lose the second chance that was given to me, everything will go to shit, how could I be scared? Roswas. Do you think we will finally reach days without fights and struggles? Issei. With that thing about collapses and new enemies, I can be sure that we must prepare, so don't get used to this unreality, you never know when we have to fight. Roswas. It's strange that it calms me to hear you say about facing new enemies. Issei. No, it's just that with these enemies we lasted a long time and it was solved in a couple of months. Now with the new enemies we have, we must be stronger than before, but I have faith in you and in everyone that this second chance will be for a brighter ending. Roswas. Smiles. Thank you. Sometimes I wonder what man goes to such lengths for his family. Issei. The question is, who isn't? Roswas. Well, let's hand in the papers and apply for the position. Issei. It's strange that it turns me on to think that I'm dating my beautiful teacher. Roswas. No perverted things at school. Issei. Hey, some things should stay the same. After that day we handed in the papers, the next few days we had fun and the last day of the vacation. Roswas came to my room with very flashy underwear that I literally couldn't believe. Roswas. Don't look at me so much, we are a wife and husband, it is normal for us to do these things. Issei. Although according to time we have not gotten married yet, but I think I should consummate the marriage before. Roswas. Then come. Immediately Roswas's voice changed to a seductive one. I quickly removed her underwear and I could see her naked semi-goddess body. Her big round breasts bouncing, her nipples so pink that my mouth couldn't help but bite them like candy. I brought my fingers to the bottom of her vagina, gently, I introduced them, it was her first time, after all, her body was still that of the Roswas of the past. However, when it was time to be wet, I could see her face of ecstasy, exhaling and begging for me to penetrate her. I used my mouth to silence her, and when I introduced my penis, she bit my lip so hard. Blood came out, I quickly picked her up and put her against the wall, she was very excited. Roswas's voice said more further, please give me more. To be her first time I didn't want gentleness, but hardness. I hit her against the wall so hard that I got so excited, making my dragon wings come out. We both started flying and having hex upside down on the ceiling, so much so that Roswas used her magic to fly and lay me flat in the air to please me without me moving an inch, while her butt was so round and perfect to squeeze my penis. I could feel that big butt, to which I put my hands roughly and inserted my finger into her anus, making her come immediately with a scream. We did it again in another position, we forgot due to the ecstasy of hex that we were in the air, and it was so strong that we broke the ceiling, and Roswas let out a scream of pleasure into the air that was heard very loudly. He had had hex with my wife, and the sensation had not changed. It was as pleasurable as I remembered. Someone couldn't even imagine the magnitude of the pleasure she felt. 2 hours later, Roswas. You know that even if we have done it in the future you could be gentle like the first time. Issei. Yes, but I didn't hear you say no, just like when I did it in a more experienced way than the first time. Roswas. Kisses him on the nose. Bakashi, I'm glad to be with you tonight. Knock knock. Issei. Yes, it happens. At that moment Ravel came in with her pajamas and pillow. Ravel. Roswas, respect that you wanted Issei's last night to yourself for a moment, but the rest of us want to sleep. Issei. Wait, did you hear? Ravel. I haven't soundproofed the rooms yet, I forgot to say that, but I didn't think they would make so much noise, or that Issei would act like an animal. I think possibly the neighbors heard, and I'm sure many will wonder what the sound of the ceiling breaking or of a woman screaming with pleasure at the moon that could be heard coming from the sky. Roswas Issei. Embarrassed. Ravel. Tomorrow is our first day, as I see that the noise has stopped I guess, and I hope they won't do it anymore since they have to sleep. Issei. Yes. Ravel. Good night everyone and please be quiet. Ravel would close the door abruptly. Behind her were the other girls. Ravel. They're done. Ilmenhold. I feel frustrated right now. Hyodo Issei, it's very. The Fae. Better not mention it. 02. I wish I could be with darling on the last night of the holidays. Ikaros. I feel great frustration on everyone's part. I recommend that we go back to sleep. Ravel. You're right, let's go. The girls would go back to sleep and Issei and Roswis were getting ready to sleep. Issei. Why did you wait until the end of the holidays? Roswis. I wanted it to be the last memory you had of a good vacation now that we return to the academy. Issei. Well, it was worth the wait. Roswis. Smiles, thank you. Issei. Because exactly. Roswis for everything. Issei would hug a naked Roswis while they both looked up at the starry sky in bed. Roswis. Don't you think the sky is beautiful tonight? Issei. I definitely think so. Roswis. I think the roof will have to be fixed tomorrow. Issei. Yes, I think we should call someone to repair it. Roswis. Good night Issei. Issei. Good night Roswis. They both stood embraced under the sky and fell asleep. The next morning. Issei. Quick, we will be late. Ravel. Whose fault was it that we couldn't sleep well? Issei. I already told you I'm sorry. Ilmenhold. Ready, I have my clothes on for the sun. Ikaros. I'm ready too. Hyodo. I'm having breakfast. Wait. Issei. So much more Hyodo. Roswis. Smiling ha. Hyodo. Just for a second I don't see that Roswis is so worried. Issei. She is a teacher and her class schedule is not followed like us students, in other words she has more time. 02. Darling, ready, I'm done collecting and getting ready. Issei. Well, now, excuse me, I will leave, only you will appear 5 minutes after me. Remember, at the academy, find a way to get close to me since I have to pretend. 02. Understood. Issei. Well girls, let's see how our first day of class goes. Issei would quickly go to the academy, the girls would leave a few minutes behind him. Issei. I see that the new people have already started to attract everyone's attention, well they are all particularly beautiful, no wonder. Isara. Issei. Issei. Oh Isara, how long since the holidays? Isara. It was fun, I have a lot to tell you and you should tell me about your new experiences on vacation. Issei. Yes I will, they were paradisiacal. Isara. Huh. Who are they? Issei. They seem to be new students, I wonder where they will come from or what they will do, don't you think, Isara? Isara. Yes. His gaze would focus on Ravel, Hyodo, Ilmenhold, Lefay and 02 because he had seen them as relatives of Mr. Mystery. Issei. I hope your first day here doesn't give you any problems. Smiles. Chapter 36. The fun will continue. At the occult club, Ria's family was gathered at recess, but they were not alone. Issei's family, also known as Mr. Mystery, was with them. Apparently the atmosphere was a little tense. Ilmenhold. Hello. Ria's. Ha, I don't know what the situation is, let's see what happens here because you are studying at the Kuo Academy. Hyodo. Well, it's complicated. Hiba. They are on an important mission that requires their time here for a few days. Hyodo. No, in fact we came to study. But those words, everyone's mind went blank with an expression of how when. Ria's. I am intelligent, but my mind does not process the current situation to study they refer to. The Fae. If I am here teaching classes with you normally. Ria's. This guy never ceases to surprise me, but he has helped us so much that the truth is I'm not worried that he has bad intentions, I'm just worried that you may be on a special mission or something that could involve us, and since that's not the case my biggest doubt, what is he thinking about? Hyodo. Well, he simply wants us to have a broader knowledge about the human world, there is no plan or double meaning in his action, it is quite simple. Ikeno. Considering the person he is, I hope you understand why it's hard for us to believe it. Ravel. I understand it perfectly, but I swear in the name of the Phoenix House that it is true. Rias. If you put your family's name at stake it must be. Kaneko. Then that means we will have to live with them. Rias. It would be ideal, they are new here and need guidance. Kaneko. Then I'll have to help fried chicken. Ravel. What did you say? Yes, I remember that she called me that it's true what Issei says, some things don't change no matter what. Ikeno. It seems that Kaneko already gets along well with her. Hiba. Sigh, this is going to be difficult. Rias. By the way, leaving this aside, I know Ingvald's story because of Ajuka, but you didn't seem to have any interest in any family because Mr. Mystery was different. Zenobia. President, she is someone important. Rias. Yes, I haven't told you, but she is Ingvald Leviathan has turned the underworld upside down. The words from Ria's mouth impacted the Gremory group with the exception of Ikeno. Asara. Wait, that means she's like Ria's. Yes, just like Vali, descendants of the Demon King's bloodline. Hiba. This is it, I didn't know there was another one. Ikeno. Ajuka had her in her possession due to a disease that causes people to sleep eternally. Rias. Yes, I want to talk about it. My cousin Sererg has the same illness as his mother, or did she have, and one night everyone present was cured. It was the second news that impacted the Ikeno underworld, and I, of course, were stunned by a topic. So, Asara. Wait, why didn't you tell us? Rias. You were as immersed as everyone else in your training, so I didn't want to bother you. Akeno finished her training early, that's why she knows everything. Isara. So what do you want to talk to him about? Rias. She woke up because of her sacred gear, but the others were cured in another way. The person responsible is not known for sure, but you woke up the same day as the others with a sleeping sickness. Then you joined Mr. Mystery as if nothing had happened. It's quite obvious. Connection. Ingvald. List as always, however, I shouldn't say anything without proof, it's just her assumptions, I shouldn't harm Issei, it was simply a coincidence that it happened, since I don't know the motives of the others. Rias. Yes, or there is something else, in any case you don't have to tell me, I don't have the right to question them, and in my opinion he did something good. Ilmenhold. We will be happy to cooperate with you in everything when you need help, and I'm sure, Gasper, you want to talk about something with me, right? Asper. Yes, about Valerie. Ilmenhold. Valerie is fine, in fact you can visit Romania whenever you want. Asper. Seriously, Ilmenhold. If she waits for your visit. Asper. Thank you very much. Rias. By the way, who is she? I haven't seen her with you. Ikaros. Me. Thoka. She is one of the members of Mr. Mystery's family. Her bishop, Ikaros, is also a friend of mine. Ikaros. I'm Ikaros, just that, it's a pleasure to meet you. Rias. A pleasure, I hope you can adapt here with peace of mind. Ikaros. Thank you very much, could someone of you show us around after school? 02. Yes, we would appreciate it very much. Rias. Of course we can also show you the city if you want. Ravel. There is no need, Mr. Mystery already took care of it. Rias. Then I hope that his stay here is to your liking. Akeno. By the way, another person is missing, as I remember, Auden's Valkyrie was given to Mr. Mystery. Ravel. In her case she will be a teacher at the academy, our leader believes that it would be the best aspect of her for her. Akeno. It's understandable. Isara. If I'm close to them, maybe I can get clues to Mr. Mystery's identity. Tiba. Isara, you're thinking out loud again. Ravel. You are free to try Isara. Isara. Seriously, Ravel. Considering that the one without a mask maintains 0 connections and could be anyone in the city, you can try it. At that moment Issei would enter the door and everyone would turn to look at him. Rias. Issei. Akeno. Issei-san, what brings you here? Issei. Isara told me that she would look for her during break to talk, I thought she would be here. Isara. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm coming, I'm sorry Rias, I'm leaving. Asia. I'll accompany you. Zenobia. Asia, wait. Rias. Okay, the three of you be careful. Ravel Efeo Menhold. She will never find out, right? Ravel. That boy, who is he? Akeno. Issei is one of the academy students. Ikaros. I think it's cute, does she have a girlfriend? But that, all the women's gazes turned with red eyes towards her. Rias. Akeno. Sorry. Ilmenhold Lefair Ravel. Cunning girl. Thoka. Issei said that we should create a way to interact normally to avoid suspicion, but I didn't think she would take that lead. 02. Damn, it was fast. Ikaros is more cunning than she looks. Ikaros. I think I want to ask him out. Rias. I see. Akeno. I understand. Ravel. Are you sure of it? Ikaros is a guy you barely know, you don't know what he is like. Thoka. Yes, in fact I don't think you should rush. The Fae. If Ikaros, this could cause problems. Ikaros. I think that as a woman I am free to ask out any guy I want, don't you think? Rias. But of course, in fact everyone is free to do it, it's normal. Akeno. Yes, there will be no problems, in fact anyone could ask him out before you did. Ikaros. I see. Immediately after the ringing of the bell, everyone would calmly leave the club room, apparently the idea of meeting Issei in a calm manner would not be so calm. While with Issei he was with his friends chatting quietly. Mitsuda. So what did you do on your vacation? Isara. The occult club was a pretty smooth trip if you remove the training part. Kiryu. Unlike you, I stayed in the city. Motohama. In my case Mitsuda and I went to the beach. Kiryu. As always trying to flirt. Issei. I guess it didn't go well for them. Mitsuda. Yes. Issei. Well guys, leaving aside the fact that we are perverts, we are good people always get girls. Motohama. That's what you say, but what guarantee is there? Issei. If I told you that yourselves from the distant future get a girlfriend and money, I think you would die of a heart attack. Just have a lot of faith. Zenobia. Isara's words are correct, but each one took her own path, so to speak. I focused on becoming stronger. Kiryu. Typical of your Zenobia, surely exercise was your priority. Mitsuda. And you, Asia, in particular, did something interesting. Asia. Let's say I took some time alone to find my strength. Mitsuda. Oh, reflect with yourself. Asia. Yes, I would say that. Isara. In your case, Issei, what did you do? Issei. Hey. Kiryu. It's true we don't know anything about you, so I guess you can tell us a little about your vacation, right? Issei. Good. Issei. Well, I guess so. Motohama. So you met someone, had a romantic adventure, or went to an extravagant place. Issei. I would say yes to everything, but I can't say that, so I will only say the concepts. Well, where do I start? I have to tell you that there were so many things. Isara. He asked me if I visit tourist places. So being Issei, he must have done a lot of things. Issei. Well, on my trip I met familiar faces, I could say friends from the past. I visited many places, but I always met old acquaintances. I even made new friends halfway. It was a true experience. Kiryu. Wow, did you take photos? Issei. No. Mitsuda. What happens to you experiences like that? You should take photos. Sounds like a movie. Issei. The circumstances of my trip prevented me from doing so. Motohama. You forgot to do it. Issei. Yes, it seems that way. In the middle of those situations of battles and conversations, how was I going to take photos? Asia. Next time let's take photos of our trips. Kiryu. It will be soon, because guess what, we will have to go to Kyoto on a school trip soon. Issei. Smiles. That sounds interesting. Mitsuda. Ha, life is too short to know how to live. Issei. What's that about? Motohama. Again with that deep question. Mitsuda. It's a good question, how to live life. No. Issei. Issei. I suppose it is. In fact, it is a common and frequently asked question for all of us. Isara. By the way, Issei, do you have plans at the end of the day? Issei. Well, Ria's invited me to eat at the end of classes. I don't know why, but she looked very serious and looked around as if she were being watched or followed. Isara. Haha. Something happened, right? I guess you're very busy. Issei. Yes, I think the school year will be interesting for everyone in their own way. Mitsuda. By the way, you've already seen the new beauties, the new girls who entered the academy besides the teacher are beautiful. Issei. Yes, I agree, but we shouldn't give them a bad impression. Kiryu. If you dare to spy on them, let me tell you that the student 02 in physical test today in classes, it was shown that she has a high performance, and Toka wants her. The kendo club demonstrated good skills with the sword. Motohama. Haha, as you think. At the end of all classes, Issei would go to the occult or occult club. If people ask you something about life, you would normally give them a complicated answer, since life is not easy. But sometimes the answer is usually simple. How many people die without having lived, and how many in the world do so having lived? A teenager may have lived longer than an 80-year-old man, which is why I believe that life simply has to be lived. You don't know if you're going to be there tomorrow, or if you're going to make it to the end of the day. We are all beings that could die at any moment. If there is a word for life, it is leaks. A beautiful word. Enjoy the moment, always live without regrets. And always remember, worry about your family and helping is a fundamental part of life. When you leave, say goodbye to your mother and father, instead of just moving forward listening to what they said. It will only take you 1 second to do it, because when you move forward, you don't know if you will see them again. Their smile, their look, you will want to say goodbye to them. We have such fragile things in life that we love so much that sometimes we can't realize that we could lose them at any moment. So live your life without regrets, fall in love, have fun with your friends more if you know that they are moments that could disappear at any moment. It's fugitive, sad and beautiful at the same time, but that's how it is. What do you need to live? We all need something to live. I need love and for the people I love to be well. Only that is enough for me, only that is enough for me. After all, for what some believe is little, it's a lot for me. Rias. Hello Issei, do you want to have some coffee? Issei. Smiles. I would love to laugh. Arc 3. Family. Chapter 37. Omens. Arc 4 starts. In a shining palace that reached and touched the clouds, there was a guy inside a room breaking everything around him. Zet. Damn, first that damn woman now called Toka, then that bitch from Ikaros. How dare you disobey my orders to abandon me? Without me, they are nothing. Zet problems. At that moment someone appeared behind, the sky became dark due to his presence, a storm began to occur. Zet. Are you evil? Evil? Am I showing up at an inopportune time? Zet. No, they are just problems that I have. Evil? What happened? Zet. The dogs I raised have escaped. Evil? Is that possible? Zet. Apparently they allied themselves with an enemy from the other dimension. That person is strong enough to destroy the bondage collar. Evil? The goddess should not have killed that mortal. Zet. I am not aware of the complete situation, but that place must have ways to avoid the goddess, after all it is another dimension. Evil? True, although he was also able to defeat her. Zet. Please evil, don't joke. The goddess Eden is something that no one can challenge, even if she appears in a statue, and her power is incomplete, nothing in that world can defeat her. Evil? You're right. Zet. My nameless slave now called Toka is in her hands. I sent Ikaros to kill her, however the same thing happened. Evil? You're going yourself. Zet. No, the situation now is not easy. After all, I am in the spotlight by many followers of the goddess Eden. I don't even know how they targeted me. There was lasciviousness, there was lust, and now everything is defined in the midst of a burning desire. The world is on fire, and Rachel James walks hand in hand with the one she won as the winner. Evil? You need to stay still for a while. Zet. Under normal circumstances yes, but I can't sit still with this dissatisfaction. Evil. What are you planning to do? Zet. Since the situation is crude, I can only resort to her. Evil. She. Shock. No, she does not. You're crazy, you don't even know if you can control it. Zet. Don't the archangels use it to destroy all the traitors of the gods and the goddess Eden? Evil. That is the Zet point, it is only used for large-scale objectives. She is uncontrollable even by the gods, to the point that in every war we lose half of our soldiers, companions and servants trying to catch her. Zet. Do you think she doesn't know she is the only one we should put to sleep in every battle? Evil. Not only that, you know well that we then put her in captivity where she applies constant sleeping abilities or powers to keep her half asleep. Zet. We go to a lot of trouble for a messiah that we don't use much. Evil. You know why it is a last resort. Have you ever heard of another messiah who killed a deity? Zet. Certainly. She is dangerous, but look at my situation, if I let this go, I won't be able to continue calling myself an archangel. Evil. I understand. However, if you know that she is there, it is the first time where she will be freed and it will not be on a battlefield. Zet. I keep that in mind. Evil. What are you planning to do? Zet. First talk to her, after all half asleep for so long she will surely take advantage of anything to wake up completely, even if it is a killing mission. Evil. So you've decided. Zet. Yes, let's go see it. Evil. I hope this doesn't get out of hand. At that moment thunderbolts and rain would fall, indicating a bad omen. Hyodo Issei was attending classes normally as his normal student face. Roswis was the one who was teaching the class, however Issei was lost in thought. Issei. Things seemed to have normalized, however things at the academy were more lively. In the class you could see that people to highlight were Toka, Isara, Ikaros, 02, Asia, Ingvald, Irina and Zenobia. Toka and Ikaros whispered while the class was taking place, ignoring what Roswa said, but they were not the only ones. Irina, Zenobia and Asia passed papers being more discreet. The other students took notes without problems. As for 02, Ingvald and Isara, they were the only ones who were paying attention to the class. Clearly Roswis had noticed this for a while, so while she was teaching the class, you could see a vein on her forehead and a smile as she spoke, but even though she showed a smile inside, she was not smiling at all. Ravel. Hey Kaneko, you ate my lunch. Kaneko. It wasn't me. Ravel. Don't lie, I left it next to your seat, who else could it be if it's not you? Kaneko. It's not my fault that I'm so unlucky that I get a forgetful classmate. Ravel. What did you say? Ilmenhold. Girls, stop fighting. I hope Ravel doesn't find out that it was me because she forgot to pack my lunch. Outside the classroom a childish fight between girls was taking place and the vein on Roswis's forehead had grown larger. Issei. Well, these things are not so bad. Greg. Your family seems to adapt very well to the environment. Issei. Yes, it's true. Albion. Your chessboard is almost complete. Issei. I wouldn't say so much like that. Greg. You think so? Count the evil pieces used. Issei. Let's see, currently my family is made up of Issei King x1, Ravel Bishop x1, Toka Horse x1, Ilmenhold Pawn x2, Roswis Tower x1, 02 Tower x1, Benia Horse x1, Ingvald Queen x1, Ikaros Bishop x1, Albion. You currently have x6 of x8 pawns left in your possession. Issei. Certainly it was close to having the chessboard complete. Greg. And you failed to count the members of your family who do not use evil piece. Issei. But they are few. The Fey Contract Mage, Office and Lilith Dragon Goddesses at the service of Issei. Greg. However, you have quite solid strength. Albion. By the way, where are Lefay and Benia? Issei. Benia has gone out this week to train, she wants to become more powerful. As for Lefay, she is helping her in her training. Greg. Since you went for her and she recovered her memories, she has seemed more hardworking than usual, in fact she is the least seen at Kuo High School. Issei. She just doesn't want to be left behind, and I don't blame her because after what happened with Rizavam, it's normal to be different. Greg. It's true, in the underworld it didn't take long for the news of Rizavam, Hades and Dead Reapers to spread. Issei. The death of the Reapers was what started all this. Greg. They were her companions, some of them were her family, one of them was her father. Issei. However, just like in the original line, they end up separated by different ideals. Greg. She recovered her memories if she knows what kind of people they were. Do you think she still wants revenge? Issei. I know her very well. I mean, she was one of my wives in the future, and the truth is she is not interested in revenge. In fact, she knows that those bastards do not deserve to be avenged. Greg. So what does she want? Issei. Power, just that. Albion. It's because she feels overshadowed by Toka. Issei. It's not that, as a knight her duty is to protect the king, and currently only Toka has demonstrated those abilities. Greg. Then she feels that she cannot block the passage of her king's enemies. Issei. That's right. Albion. Honestly, everyone has shown great progress while she is far behind. Issei. I don't know what she's trying to do in her training, but I trust her and I know she'll do it very well. Reg. On the other hand, she only has to enjoy normal life until the next attack from another dimension. Issei. Yes, although in particular I am nervous because of the information that Rizivim gave me. Albion. She told you that 02 will bring you trouble. Issei. The idiot sought the end of it and who knows what thing from another dimension he brought to our world by creating a dimension collapse. Reg. 02 doesn't talk much about her former home and there's no guarantee he'll do so anytime soon. Issei. We have to give her her space, she will speak when she wants to. In the end I am sure of one thing, and that is that whatever killed Rizivim, Hades and those Grim Reapers is from the home of 02. Reg. Then let's not think about it too much, it will appear in front of us sooner or later and we will know how to face it. Issei. That's right, so for now let's enjoy normality. Roswis. I'm tired. Issei. Huh. At that moment Roswis exploded, Toka and Ikaros were reprimanded for talking in class and sent to the punishment room, Zenobia, Irina and Asia were reprimanded for passing papers in class and were also sent to the punishment room. Finally, Kaneko, Ravel and Elmenhold were reprimanded for arguing in front of a classroom, however Roswis was humble and let them go with a warning. Roswis. It's much better. Roswis put on a satisfied face as she took care of the problems, while the rest of the students learned to never ignore Professor Roswis. On the other hand, a student raised his hand. Brad. Professor, Issei hasn't taken notes, she's just been looking out the window. Issei. Roswis me. Brad. Since you call a teacher so informally, that's disrespectful and should be punished. Issei. What Riaz told me is true, since many people were paying attention to me and they were all the prettiest women in school, problems will arise with the boys trying to make me look bad. Vitsuda. Hey, what are you talking about? Issei is one of the most diligent students. Issei. As I won't be, if I originally graduated from high school a long time ago in the future. Motohama. True, he may not be number one, but his average remains high, never cheats. Issei. Although coming from the future with a more mature mentality, it's like cheating, since all the questions seem easy to me. Brad. I'm just saying that his behavior deserves a sanction. At that moment Roswis approached Brad. Roswis. Sorry Brad. Brad. Yes teacher, she is definitely impressed by me caring about the class and as an extra she will punish Issei. Roswis. Could you shut up and stop saying Issei nonsense? At that moment, most of the classmates' minds went blank and Brad got goosebumps. Brad. But what about her lack of attention? Roswis. Issei has a score of 10 in my class, her average in the period has been excellent, she is one of the few who could say that she has the right to be relaxed, so you understand what I want to tell you, right? Brad. Yes Roswis. Roswis. She is a Roswis teacher for you. Brad. Yes Professor Roswis. Brad lowered his head and Roswis continued the class with a smile as she looked at Issei. Greg. That is not having preference. Albion. He is her future husband, boyfriend and current lover. He honestly has every right to have that preference. Issei. Sigh, sometimes a normal day is not normal at all. Elsewhere, Zed and Evil were in front of some great golden doors. They advanced forward while more doors were seen in the background. Evil. Are you sure? Zed. Come on, Evil. Where they keep her locked up never ceases to surprise me. Zed. We are the same, there are 5 doors before reaching it, the first only opens in the presence of the archangels, the second you need to deposit a large amount of power to open it, the third you must spill your blood to confirm your identity. Evil. The 4th and 5th are the most problematic. Zed. I know, fortunately we have the pass. Evil. In the 4th you must enter a pass to take you to the 5th or on the contrary cross a battlefield created by God. I don't know how you got the pass, but it's a relief. Zed. Do not waste time and walk, the 5th door is of time, it will only open at the right time and at the right moment for 5 minutes. Evil. I know. They passed all the doors and upon arriving they felt the power in the room that kept that person half asleep, all the spells, abilities, etc. At that moment that power began to slowly stop when they arrived and a voice was heard. To archangels, this is strange, I don't think there would be wars if there weren't more of you here, you also flatter me by waking me up completely. The person who spoke could not be seen because she was in the shadows, but she knew that she was a woman by the tone of her voice, in turn, she was tied with chains that could be seen. Zed. I want to offer you a deal. Oh, that's interesting. Zed. I need you to kill some people. That's more interesting, I'm normally used in wars, no one has ever asked me to kill a couple of people. Zed. As a reward you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Then it is obvious that the people I have to kill are not from this world, otherwise they would never give me such freedoms. Evil. Have you thought about what happens if he doesn't keep his promise? Zed. Zed. You don't know, since the last time she freed herself, a soul chain developed, if she attacks or betrays us, she dies no matter her powers, abilities, or how strong she is. Evil. That sounds better than the bondage collar, it makes me feel calmer. It makes everyone feel calmer that I have the soul chain. Zed. So you will do it. Millimeters. I haven't gone out in a long time and well anything is better than being locked up here. Zet. So it's a deal. Immediately the chains that tied her were gone and she fell to the ground. Evil. You know I want to ask you something. What is? Evil. Because you killed a deity and live like this, with your power it would be easy to have whatever you want. The first of course was for the eternal patronage of my god. The god of chaos is laughing as he looks at the foolish archangels. At that moment a red screen appeared in front of Zed and Evil, both of them were scared to the point of being extremely careful with their words. Zed. That's it. Evil. Divine grace. A god still patronizes this crazy woman. The god of chaos laughs because he will have fun. As for the second, what I want was taken away from me a long time ago. My entire being was seen as an object, and in the end I realized that my wish would never be fulfilled. When all that happened, all that was left was madness, only me left. Zet. She is definitely dangerous. Evil. I really have to say, you are someone to be feared. Karumi Takasaki. Chapter 38. Agreements. In Issei's room he was sleeping, but he was not alone, he was accompanied by his girls who were naked in bed. Apparently they all decided to sleep with their loved one even once a week, the rest of the time would be organized into a schedule, so that one of them would sleep next to Issei. In turn, if he needed privacy then that girl's corresponding day was postponed. Everyone seemed to have a lovely peaceful sleep, it was a peaceful night. However, darkness quickly set in. On the outskirts of Issei's house, a presence was present floating in the air, this was Karumi Takasaki. Karumi. But what do we have here? A boy who is sleeping with the girls who are my murder targets. She looked through the window despite the distance she was at. The god of chaos says to be careful. Karumi. Yes I know, this mission seems strange to me from the beginning, if they are two people and they need my help, they must be extremely strong. The god of chaos nods to your words. Karumi. But take few precautions. The god of chaos firmly denies. Karumi. Let's see, I came to this world in an area where there was no form of life to detect my presence, then I searched the world for the energy of my targets, I waited until nightfall where they would surely be resting and with their guard down. The god of chaos says that's right, you took all the precautions you could. Karumi. Then because the boy who was asleep with the naked women, now he is awake and in front of me, without me being able to notice him. Issei. Who are you? At that moment Issei's eyes, which looked transformed like those of a dragon, looked at Karumi. The god of chaos says he is strong, he does not recommend frontal attack. Karumi. You tell me to run or use traps. The god of chaos says that the cunning live longer than the righteous people. Issei. What is that red screen? The god of chaos greets you. Karumi. Hey, what are you doing? The god of chaos says to give him a few minutes to talk to the boy. Issei. A red screen and it says God of Chaos, this is it, you are a messiah. The god of chaos is surprised because he knows about the messiahs. Karumi. Stop being so surprised, it's obvious that he must know having two girls from our world by his side. The god of chaos agrees with you. Issei. Then god of chaos you want to talk to me. The god of chaos feels that your power is very high. The god of chaos says he is this girl's sponsor. The god of chaos says he doesn't want to lose the only person he patronizes. Issei. It's okay for you to tell me that with her being close to me. The god of chaos says don't worry, you can set these types of conversations as private to avoid problems. Karumi. What are you seeing me? Issei. Nothing, forget it. The god of chaos says he wants to end this as peacefully as possible. Issei. I also think the same, so can you convince this girl to leave? The god of chaos says that it is impossible because he entrusted Karumi with a mission of murdering the two girls from his world who are in your custody. Issei. So this girl's name is Karumi. Karumi. Hey, what are you telling them about me? The god of chaos tells you to calm down because the conversation with this boy is not over. Karumi. You really are annoying. The god of chaos sighs heavily. Issei. But because it is impossible to abandon the mission, she does not have a slavery collar on her neck. The god of chaos says she was given something worse. Issei. Something worse. The god of chaos says Karumi show the boy. Karumi. For what? The god of chaos says do it, don't ask. Karumi. Okay. In that instant an almost ghostly energy swirled around her. Issei's eyes widened when he saw that she had a kind of giant chain stuck in her heart. Issei. Surprised, but what the hell is that? The god of chaos says it is a chain of the soul, if she betrays her mission she will die so she cannot abandon. Issei. It's a thing, she doesn't seem to be on a physical plane. The god of chaos says that you are correct, the chains of the soul are on the spiritual plane of the wearer, that way no one can free it on the physical plane by breaking it like the necklaces. Issei. I understand. The god of chaos says that if not there is some way for you to give up those two girls and let Karumi's mission complete. Issei. I'm sorry, this is a sentimental issue, I can't treat those two girls as exchange objects. The god of chaos sighs and says that feelings are a problem. Issei. Can I ask you something? The god of chaos looks at you with intrigue and nods. Issei. Why do you protect this girl? The god of chaos says that she is important to his plans. Issei. What are you planning? The The god of chaos says that if she tells you what she will do you must swear on your soul not to tell the girl. Issei. Just one oath and you will tell me. It seems too good to be true. Karumi. Hey you boy. Issei. What's wrong? Karumi. I don't know what they're talking about, but if you're looking for information and he offers you an oath, don't look at it as something simple. Issei. What do you mean? Karumi. Haha. The oaths of the soul are eternal pacts between both parties. If one breaks the agreed pact, then let's not talk about just dying, but your existence will be erased. Issei. Shocked that. Karumi. Since a soul oath is something that both of them agreed to do, it is normal that there will be punishment if one breaks their oath. Issei. And exactly how would it be deleted? Karumi. You just disappear and that's it. There is no sound, pain, screams, etc. You are simply no longer there. It is an absolute force that even surpasses the goddess Eden. It is like something that was at the beginning of the entire creation of the universe and dimensions, a force from another plane that no one can oppose. Issei. But what the hell? Karumi. You will feel it if you agree to take the soul oath. Issei. Well, I still need all the information possible. Okay, god of chaos, I swear on my soul. The god of chaos smiles with ecstasy. Karumi. Here it comes. Issei. Hey. Issei's words stopped. What he beheld should be described as unreal. There was no sound or warning when he started, yet his eyes saw it. He saw his soul come out of his body and touch some kind of giant white paper. Then his soul slowly returned to him and slipped back into his body. His eyes beheld for the first time something that was beyond all strength. Above that paper be. At that moment Issei's body was trembling, he felt it. Karumi's words were not false, on the contrary they were true. If he said something, and he broke his oath with the god of chaos, his existence would disappear. It would be the end of the story, the end of your story. Soon everything would return to normal. Karumi. Yes, in my first oath with him he had the same expression. Issei. Shaking. Damn, that was I felt like my existence was at stake. Issei's pale face remained after what had happened, his hands trembled. Karumi. All gods can use that oath to hide great secrets, have faithful followers who obey them, etc. In any case, since it is a mutual agreement, both parties achieve something. In my case, the god of chaos, as part of the oath, told me to stay at the rank of Messiah forever. Issei. And what did you ask for? Karumi. That's none of your business. At that moment Karumi's killing intent rose into the air towards Issei. The god of chaos asks you to calm down. Karumi. Okay. The god of chaos asks you to forgive her, but things are complicated. Issei. That doesn't matter, I already took the oath, tell me what you plan. The god of chaos says that he is tired of the divine world. Issei. Divine world. The god of chaos says that it is a place where the gods live. In that place the gods help the almighty goddess Eden to manage the world. But so many billions of years have bored me. I am part of the top 10 most powerful gods, being number 5 in the top. Looking to escape from that routine and devised a plan for a long time. Issei. And what would that plan be? The god of chaos says reincarnation through the chaos of origin technique. Issei. Shocked. Is that possible? The god of chaos says that it is possible for those who have achieved such power in the divine world and have obtained permission to use the power of the laws. Issei. What is the power of laws? The god of chaos says that you will know soon, after all one of them must come for you. Issei. What? The god of chaos says that he can't talk much about them, so he asks you to excuse him. Issei. Well then, back to your plan. The god of chaos says that by using the reincarnation technique, he will lose all his powers as a god and will send his soul to another dimension or universe. He does not even know if he will be human or not, but it is better than continuing to be bored in the divine world without being able to do anything. Nothing but work and manage that world of crap for eternity. Issei. And why do you need her? He would stare at Karumi while she tilts her head. The god of chaos says that to carry out such a technique she needs a successor, someone to take the position of her god, after which she will inherit all my powers. Issei. Shocked, but I thought that to become a god you needed to advance in rank. The god of chaos says that you are correct, however there is an exception. If a god is willing to give up his position as a god, and a person decides to accept that position, being able to inherit the position of a god would allow you to skip those ranks. And immediately be a god. Issei. And why her of all the people on your planet? The god of chaos says that not everyone can inherit the position of a god, much less the top 10. You need someone with talent and effort added to an energy similar to that of the god you are going to inherit. Issei. In other words, you must be born with those qualities to inherit the position of a deity. The god of chaos says that an option that allows you to skip ranks and be a god instantly is not easy at all. You are simply born with a gift, or you are not born with a gift. Issei. And why haven't you carried out your plan in a while? The god of chaos says that she needs more power, she needs to be stronger and free herself from the pain of the past, only then she will be ready. Issei. I see. The god of chaos says that he chose to speak with you first because he sensed your power and knows that you can kill his heir. Issei. But we both have our hands tied here, she can't stop her mission, and I can't leave the two girls I want to die. The god of chaos says that you are right, so he proposes something beneficial for both of them. Issei. And that is? The god of chaos says that she can help you enter her spiritual world so that you can free yourself from the chain of the soul. Issei. Certainly without that chain we can both give up on the confrontation, but it won't be easy to do that, right? The god of chaos says that you are right, the girl's spirit world is full of pain and suffering, such a disordered spirit world is dangerous, not to mention that if you die there you die in reality, in turn the girl would also die. If you fail, Issei. If I refuse and she and I fight, how big would the damage be? The god of chaos says that even if you can kill the girl, because of her peculiar abilities the number of innocent dead amounts to billions. Issei. Then I have no choice, tell the girl about the plan. The god of chaos appreciates your cooperation. The conversation was over and Issei would descend to the ground. Karumi. Well, what happened? The god of chaos has something to tell you, but you won't like it. Chapter 39. Past. After the meeting between Issei and Karumi, both were face to face on the ground, waiting for instructions from the god of chaos. Karumi. Listen to me, I want you to know that if it weren't for me, God literally wouldn't do this. Issei. Can I ask you something? Karumi. Yes, it is a question I can answer, yes. Issei. Why are you like that? Karumi. What kind of question is that? I don't understand what you mean. Issei. I have had many battles and seen countless people. Karumi. What do you want to tell me with that? Issei. The people I have met fought for what they love, others for their personal desires, some perhaps for fame and money, but I can't say exactly what kind of person you are. Karumi. I have no one to love, money is of no use to me, and fame doesn't matter to me. Issei. And your wishes? Karumi. Trembled. It's no use wishing for something that you know won't come true, some things just don't happen. Issei. I see, I hope I can understand you one of these days. Karumi. Whatever you say. The god of chaos says he is ready. Issei. It seems like it's time. Karumi. You took too long. The god of chaos says don't blame him, the preparations to enter a person's spiritual world are many, and there should be no mistakes. Issei. Will we need to change location to avoid involving civilians in the process? The god of chaos says that it will not be necessary, this process will not affect the real world in any way. Karumi. Then we can start without any problem. The god of chaos nods. Issei. Well, what do I have to do? The god of chaos says that Karumi must sit in a meditation pose, and you must stand behind her touching her back, then the god of chaos will transmit his energy into your body, so that you enter his spiritual world, your mind must be completely in white, make sure you don't think about anything. Issei and Karumi would follow the instructions of the god of chaos to the letter. Karumi. Good luck, you're going to need it. At that moment, Issei entered Karumi's spiritual world without realizing it. When he opened his eyes he couldn't believe what he saw. Issei. Shocked this is. The way to describe what Issei saw was the following: the sky is orange with yellow lightning, you don't feel any difference from the real world, the whole place can be felt, seen, heard and smelled, instead of a spiritual world it seems a world different from Earth. However, feelings that are not yours are transmitted to you instantly, you feel deep pain and hatred, accompanied by enormous sadness, you realize that these feelings are transmitted to you by the world itself. The entire place is chaos, but that chaos is not natural, it is chaos caused by resentment. Issei. I have to calm down. The god of chaos tells you that you must be careful, do not let the feelings of this world catch you. Issei. Are the spiritual worlds like that? The god of chaos says that each person has a different spiritual world, but normally they are calm and good worlds, those with spiritual worlds of this type are the ones who have suffered a lot. Issei. Exactly what is a spiritual world? The god of chaos says that it is the refuge of the soul, where the key moments of your life that defined you are kept, loves, joys, sadness, losses, etc. Issei. Unlike the mind that stores all your memories, the spiritual world only stores the most important memories. The god of chaos says that is a very accurate description. Issei. Anyway, where is the soul chain? The god of chaos says to walk forward, it must be at the end. Issei. Okay. At that moment, when Issei took the first step, his surroundings changed to that of a luxurious mansion. Issei. But what is this? Karumi. Who is there? Issei. He. Karumi. Karumi. Where are you? Can't I see you? Issei. Surprised. Wait, what's going on here? Karumi. Kai. Issei's eyes would widen upon seeing Karumi, since the Karumi she was seeing was a little girl, she in turn would be scared by the noise. Issei. What does this mean? The god of chaos says it's a memory, he can't see you, but he can hear you, you can move on and ignore it. Issei. I won't change anything by getting into them. The god of chaos says that your presence can alter memories in the spiritual world, however, since this is not the realm of the mind there is no problem with it. Issei. What do you mean? The The god of chaos says that in the realm of the mind where all memories are stored, by changing a memory the person will remember everything differently. However, this is the spiritual world. Changing a memory such as a bad event or a fateful day will only give you a false sense of peace. So there really isn't a big impact as such. Issei. Even if this place stores only important memories, in the end it is the spiritual realm and not mental, therefore it does not have the effect of altering memories, but how is it giving you a false sense of peace? The god of chaos says that suppose your mother died in an accident, you remember that fateful day clearly, but if you enter the spiritual realm and change that fact, it will give you a feeling of peace and happiness, knowing that you saved your mother. But then when you return to the real world, you remember what she was like and how she wasn't, you basically live a lie. Issei. I understand. The god of chaos says that is why there are not many who enter his spiritual realm anymore. Issei. But just moving on from this is a little disrespectful, you know. The god of chaos says he doesn't understand you. Issei. For example, it's like you wait all year for a game you love and then when it's time to play, you skip the main story. The god of chaos says your analogy is interesting. Issei. Also, it kills me with curiosity to know how that girl who is scared there became the current Karumi. Karumi. I knew it, there are ghosts around here. Karumi was still scared, she believed that the voice she spoke was a ghost. Issei. Calm down girl, I'm not a ghost. Karumi. So what are you? Issei. Millimeters, let's say I'm just a fairy lord. Karumi. A fairy, what is a fairy? Issei. You can think of me as a creature of nature, I'm friendly, don't worry. Karumi. I see. Issei. So what's your name? Karumi. My name is Karumi Takasaki, it is a pleasure to meet you Mr. Fairy. She kept her head down. Issei. Karumi, why do you lower your head? Karumi. It's because of my eye Mr. Fairy. Issei. Your eye. Karumi. My family says that I am an aberration for being born with two eyes of different colors, people who see my eye are also scared, they say that I am a monster. Issei. Karumi, there's nothing wrong with being different. Karumi. But people shout and hit me non-stop without me having done any harm to them. If it were normal it would have been better for me. Issei. Maybe you are right on that point, if you were normal you wouldn't suffer so much, however being different means that you are more special than anyone else. Karumi. Surprised that. Issei. People who are different are people who alone are talented and achieve incredible things, that means that you are part of that group of people. Karumi. Haha, how strange you are Mr. Fairy smiles. Issei. Do you think so? Smile. I continue to advance in the memories stored in Karumi's spiritual world, learning more about her life and history, interacting with her at all stages of her life. I managed to understand a little of her pain. She was born in a prestigious family where everyone was a messiah. They praised the goddess of the stars. Everyone who was born in that family had blonde hair and was only allowed to be sponsored by that goddess. Anyone who will not accept the patronage of that goddess loses the right to live. In turn, if that goddess rejects them, they will be expelled from their family. Karumi suffered from harassment from her family for being born with different features. Karumi. All my brothers bother me like always, they call me a loser. Issei. In my opinion you show that you have more talent than them, could you see where they were going to attack you, why didn't you dodge their blows? Karumi. If I dodge it will be worse. Issei. But if you defend yourself it will be over, if no one is going to help you then you take the first step. Karumi. My brothers are skilled in hand-to-hand combat and use swords, I can't beat them in a fight. Issei. Skilled. I have seen better swordsmen than them, I can definitely help you. Karumi. Are you sure Mr. Fairy, I don't want to get you into trouble. Issei. Don't worry, you won't get me into any trouble. For your combat style I would recommend ranged and a little hand-to-hand combat to defend yourself when the enemy is close. As time went by, I noticed how history was changing little by little. Thanks to the god of chaos I was able to see what it is like now and how history really was. Continue moving forward alongside Karumi, looking at more of her life. Karumi. Mr. Fairy, I am a good person. Issei. Yes, you are, or at least I think so. Karumi. Then why does Mr. Fairy talk to me, but he never shows himself in front of me, even when we are alone? Issei. I have my reasons Karumi, but don't worry, even if you can't see me, I will be next to you supporting you. Karumi, thank you Mr. Fairy. I will reach the Messiah rank soon, and I am afraid when it comes to choosing a sponsor, what if that goddess does not choose me? Issei. You have nothing to fear in the end, follow your own path. Then I reached a turning point in his life. The goddess of the stars could not patronize her. Then the chaos on the part of Karumi's family began. Issei. But what's happening? The god of chaos tells you that this goddess cannot sponsor Karumi because of her body. The messiahs are granted powers from said god, however Karumi was born with a special constitution that makes her perfectly his heir as he had previously told you. Issei. That's why the goddess of the stars couldn't sponsor her. The god of chaos says that is correct, she was born with an energy similar to mine, therefore there are very few gods who can sponsor her. Issei. That energy influenced her hair color, right? The god of chaos says that she is correct, however her family has a very closed vision. They disowned Karumi for being the way she is, without knowing that she had an extraordinary talent, in addition to being a perfect heir to the position of god. Karumi. Mr. Fairy, what should I do? Issei. Karumi, run. After that I could see how she desperately ran for her life. Her own family persecuted her mercilessly. If not chosen by a god, they are expelled from her, but they simply wanted to kill her to erase her existence. In the end I was able to see how she was temporarily saved, hiding in an abandoned house. They were in a very large civilian area. They may be messiahs, but they would not attack such a large area to kill her, knowing that there would be consequences, such as getting in trouble with other messiahs or ranks. Taller. Karumi. Because this wasn't supposed to happen. I just wanted to have a family, one where we were all happy. Issei. Karumi. At that moment Issei was able to understand Karumi a little more, and above all, the question he had asked him before had been answered. Karumi was not like the people he had known because she had nothing, she had no family, and she had no one to love. That's why she was like that, she just has nothing. Karumi. Please Mr. Fairy, tell me, what should I do? Karumi cried sadly. At this stage of her life she was barely 14 years old. All the events that had happened were a lot for a girl to process. However, Issei, she knew what to say to him. Issei. Karumi, they won't stop. People like that will never do it, not until they kill you, so it's kill or be killed. Karumi. What? Issei. Karumi, there are times when ethics, morality, even religion are very overrated. They say that killing is wrong, and it is not entirely wrong, but one should always preserve your own life. Karumi. Issei. Karumi, it is not a sin to kill those who deserve it, it is a sin to die without fighting. Karumi. I really can do it. Issei. If you can, I believe in you, Karumi, do it, fight. At that moment Karumi's family appeared, destroying a wall, and at that moment Karumi took out his weapons. Her family laughed watching that action, but in that moment of laughter, she blew off the head of one of her family members, making everyone shut up. There was no doubt, there was no hesitation, she was going to fight. Karumi. Thank you Mr. Fairy, now I can see things more clearly. If I die I will not be able to smile again. If I die I cannot experience happiness, and above all if I die, I will not be able to see you again Mr. Fairy, so no matter what happens I'm going to get out of here alive. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day, bye.